Hello and welcome to the Blue Oval Car Barn in beautiful downtown Mineral Wells, Texas, right next to the Baker Hotel and below the Crazy Water sign. I'm bringing you another installment for the website and our YouTube channel, Facebook as well, of some things that we have going on here today. This morning, we sent a grabber lime green Boss 351 to the metal shop to have all the rust work done. It's going to be completely ready, I'd say in about 4 months. From there it'll go to paint and body, about 4 months in paint and body, and then we should have it back in a little less than a year. Now, what are we going to do between now and then? We're going to start working on all these parts. As you see in front of me here laid out is an entire Boss 351 disassembled in components. Some of these components will be reconditioned, some of them will be replaced, some of them will be upgraded, so to speak. But what we'll do is we'll work through all these components over the next year and have all of this stuff ready to be assembled. For instance, the stainless steel will go to a company that'll do the polishing. The shifter will go out to a gentleman that'll rebuild the Hurst shifter. The transmission will get disassembled and inspected. The rear end and center section will get disassembled and reconditioned. The seats will be cleaned and probably reused, and we'll just run through the entire car. It's kind of laid out in the order that it goes, except for the seats here, back of the car to the front of the car. As you can see here, the wiring harness will have to be disassembled, cleaned, and rewrapped. The clutch will have to go out to a clutch vendor that'll rebuild that. The wiper motor will get rebuilt. The fan motor will get rebuilt. All these components will go. The dash will get disassembled and cleaned, and everything will go back in and be tested with the wiring harness. The door panels will be cleaned up, and we'll just essentially work our way through the car. Now, a lot of the brake components will be replaced. A lot of the suspension and steering components will be replaced with new components if they're available. If not, those will be reconditioned as well. Probably new springs. The radiator will be recored, cleaned, and made ready. The alternator will be built. The distributor will be rebuilt. The steering pump will be rebuilt. All this stuff will be reconditioned to get ready for when the car comes back from paint. Here's the engine. An interesting point about this car was this engine's never been out of the car. The rev limiter was still connected, still in use. I've never found one before that the rev limiter was still connected to before. Original carburetor, Autolite carburetor was on the car, original air cleaner. The engine had never been out. There was indications the transmission and clutch had been replaced at one point or another, but the original pressure plate was in there. They just cleaned it and put a new clutch disc in it and throw-out bearing. This original VIN-coated engine that came out of this Boss 351 is the solid lifter, high compression, high performance power plant that every Boss 351 had in it. They're a rugged, high performance, high revving engine, makes a lot of torque for a small block, makes a lot of top end horsepower. They were a great combination of the 71 Mustang with a 391 rear end and a 4-speed transmission. Basically, this will come apart. The original date coated water pump, alternator will stay with the car, the original distributor, everything will be reconditioned. The engine will be remachined, it'll be reassembled with as close to original components as we can, and we'll make a little more horsepower. It'll make about 400 horsepower when we're done, maybe a little short of that. But we'll have the original Autolite carb on it, and I'm going to show you what we hope this engine's going to look like in about a year. Let's walk into the engine room and let me show you. This particular engine is destined to go into our grabber blue Boss 351 shortly. It's already been detailed. So this engine is already prepared and prepped and ready to go. It's already been run on a dyno. It's 100% ready to go into the car, and it'll be in the car in a couple of weeks. The grabber blue car is sitting out in the trailer right now. This particular engine is the same engine you've seen. The actual build dates are very similar, so it'll be detailed and prepped, and this is exactly what it should look like. This particular engine on the dyno made about 380 horsepower. It made about 406 foot-pounds of torque, and that's about what we'll look to build with this other engine. This particular one is bored 30 over, has original duplicates of the original domed pistons, and is as close as we can get to an original engine. As we duplicate this, we detail all of our engines to be very similar to this one right here. So one, we slightly improve, and every time we do another engine, we get a little smarter because other people in the industry help us out and help us find out how to do it better. So basically an all original car in not great condition, But since it's grabber lime green, we're going to do all the metal work to bring it back to life. We're going to remanufacture the engine, and we're going to put the car back into as close to new condition as we can, because that's a pretty rare car to find in that color combination with a black interior. From the Blue Oval Car Barn today and the grabber lime green Boss 351 that you'll be watching us as we produce, the next pictures you get will be back from the metal shop and ready to go to paint. Hope to see you soon. Hope to see y'all here. I'm going to leave you with a few pictures of this grabber lime green car when I found it, and a few pictures of it as it was ready to go get restoration, saved, brought back to life by the Blue Oval Car Barn. Thank you very much.